Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
It is feature time in Tulsa. Let's go green.
He's got the run, but is it enough? It's a drag race to the finish. Culver goes from third to first in the last quarter.
Experience the world's most legendary racing events with iRacing. iRacing special events allow any member to compete in full-length multiplayer races based on some of the biggest events in motorsports all year round. Compete in virtual endurance races such as the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, and the Nürburgring 24 Hours. Take on some of the toughest races on the NASCAR calendar, such as the Daytona 500 and the Coke 600. We have races from disciplines across the racing world, from the Indy 500 to the Chili Bowl, from the Bathurst 1000 to the Crandon Championship. Our endurance special events utilize iRacing's team feature, where members can sign up and race together on their own team, swapping drivers throughout the race. Other events use iRacing Super Sessions, where you're not only racing against those on track, but against everyone taking part. As every race progresses, watch and feel the track change with progressive time of day, dynamic weather and rain, and dynamic track debris and surface changes. Take on your favorite discipline or try a brand new racing challenge with our biggest races of the year, the iRacing Special Events. Learn more at iracing.com/special-events.
And there it is, green flag in the air, and we are a go.
Curb, curb, curb again.
Oh! And he's gonna make it work as they're 3/10 back.
Sir, you can't park there.
What's going on, race fans, and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. We haven't gone far from the weekend with two beautiful second place finishes for HSR Phantom Racing. Now it is time for the All-Star 15 TV Super Tropheo Series. The beautiful Lamborghinis going around Sebring International Raceway. Round 4 of the inaugural season. Joining me up in the broadcast booth, it is the owner of those two second place finishes from Saturday. It's Joe Hutchings.
Aren't you an owner too?
I am, but you are your birth owner.
Anyways, hi everybody, and welcome back to Sebring. And sorry about the extended break, but you know,
good thing we took it.
We take a break. Yeah.
With the updates.
Week 13. Yeah, week 13, week 1. This league will never run because we want iRacing to work out their kinks.
And boy, were there plenty.
Oh boy.
Holy cow. How about that wonderful tire model that everybody had to deal with like a week before the Sebring race, Joe?
I'm giving you daggers through the screen.
I could feel it, but they kind of felt like, you know, the same daggers that Jess gives me sometimes. Those are scary. Those are very scary.
Mine are not as scary as the misses.
Nope. I will say that. But Joe, round 4 at Sebring. Tonight's going to be a fun one. It's a quick 45-minute race like we've always done this year for the first year for the Super Tropheo series. They're going to get right around 20 or so laps in. But Joe, what are you kind of expecting tonight now that a lot of these drivers could be going from the prototypes now to a slower vehicle in the Lamborghini?
Pure chaos. And you want to know why I say pure chaos? Because hopefully this evening, barring what happened the last race, we're actually going to have a transition into night. And Sebring with the new graphics model, oh boy, that sun glare coming through those windshields when the sun's going down, it's going to make some real fun going into sunset, which is basically the last corner on the track.
Now you say fun like very sarcastically. Are we talking like blinding?
If you have anybody that was running at Sebring that were in the car for that transition over tonight,
I don't like that laugh.
It's bad.
Well, Joe, as you were in the car this weekend as well, how much fall off are we expecting, or do you think we are going to see from these tire models now that they have been updated to more reflect realistic grip models and tire models?
Well, it's mostly for the prototypes at this particular point. Talking with some people that ran GT3s, there really wasn't any change for them, so this really shouldn't be affected for us. But you never know. Cars untested, and who knows? It could make for some interesting tire strategies. I did give these guys a what's it called? The high downforce setup, so they can have a lot of grip, and I'm hoping that the race is a little bit easier for them than it was for the actual 12-hour race. You know, support series. Let's go sports. I mean, what?
Well, qualifying is over. Ken Huber with the pole. Second place, Dalton Fredericks, Michael Clark, third. Fourth, it's Jesus Pastilla.
We're gonna call him Jesus.
Jesus Pastilla. In fifth, it's Mike Rupp, Donald Stepek in sixth. Seventh, Josh Vidal, Brandon Storr in eighth. Ninth, it's Wyatt Franklin, Daniel Krim in 10th. And rounding out the field, it's Jamie Bray. All right, everybody. They're going to have about a minute transition. Do we have the full pace lap, or are we taking a half pace lap?
That's a good question. I'm sorry, I had to rush them put the lobby together today, and I don't know. They should have a full pace lap.
All right. Well, Joe, why don't you, since we have this little bit of time now, why don't you gush about those 2 second place finishes and how much adversity those two teams really fought through? Granted, I don't want to mince words. We had 4 teams. Each one of them fought hard, but also each one dealt with their own issues. The 20 and the 969 were in better situations towards the end of the night, with cars in front of them wrecking more often. But at least my side of the ownership, I'm very proud and happy to see that they were able to bounce back, even broadcasting them on the channel. But Joe, let's hear it from you.
I'm proud of what the 969 and the 20 were able to accomplish. The lobbies weren't great, but I'm not gonna go any further than that. A lot of racing IQ was lost somewhere between Daytona and Sebring, which is kind of normal. But was it all 6 of the drivers between those 2 cars did absolutely wonderful, and I do have to shout out the other 2 cars. They tried their best, and they did what they could with what they had. And you know, even with the car that I was in with the last second, and I literally mean last second car change, I think we did all right. So it was an all right weekend. All right, we're gonna win one of these days. We're gonna get back to our winning ways. It's just a matter of time. We got Indianapolis 500 coming up. I know there were rumors about running the Road America 500. I may or may not have started those. And we got Watkins Glen near the end of June. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. Cars are starting to grid. It is time to get this 45-minute race underway. We are getting the full pace lap, so with that full pace lap gives us a lot of time. And let's send it back to the sponsors, throw a couple commercials out there. We already went through the starting lineup, so we'll be right back, everybody.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
It is feature time in Tulsa. Let's go green.
He's got the run, but isn't enough. It's a drag race to the finish. Culver goes from third to first in the last quarter.
Experience the world's most legendary racing events with iRacing. iRacing special events allow any member to compete in full-length multiplayer races based on some of the biggest events in motorsports all year round. Compete in virtual endurance races such as the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, and the Nürburgring 24 Hours. Take on some of the toughest races on the NASCAR calendar, such as the Daytona 500 and the Coke 600. We have races from disciplines across the racing world, from the Indy 500 to the Chili Bowl, from the Bathurst 1000 to the Crandon Championship. Our endurance special events utilize iRacing's team feature, where members can sign up and race together on their own team, swapping
When
drivers
you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you to all our wonderful sponsors of the channel and also for the All-Star 15 TV Super Tropheo series. Joe, what are some keys to victory real fast that some of these drivers are going to have to deal with around the racetrack and around each other?
Changing conditions, number one. Number two, getting through turn one on the initial start. That's going to be key. Not piling into or not being piled into in the hairpin is another key. And if I remember correctly, these guys should be able to make it without having to pit.
Oh,
so
that's a little different than what we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jake, I thought you were going to make it.
Sure on it.
Facebook chat.
No. Yeah, I see. To finish first you must finish. We've said that before somewhere. I don't remember where. But anyways,
probably plenty of times.
It looks like they're. Oh yeah, it looks like they're going through Bishop right now, getting ready to go into. What is it? Turn 15 and then turn 16, which is cordially named Le Mans. But we'll do an onboard lap.
After a couple
guys,
laps,
yeah.
let them get up to speed, get those tire temps to optimal temperature. That's another thing everybody's have to worry about.
Oh, yeah. That sun glare is going to be happening very early. I'm in a cockpit view right now, and it's going to get bad soon.
That's Ken Huber's view right behind the pace car. We're about to go green. Everybody hit that like button, subscribe, follow. Thank you all for tuning in. This is the All-Star 15 TV Super Tropheo Series Round 4 at Sebring International Raceway. Pace car is going to turn right coming out of sunset and give control to the flagman. And green flags in the air, and away we go.
And got a really good jump on Dalton going into turn 1 here.
Make sure everybody... Oh, we have
no.
clear spinning. That's the 13 and the 11. Oh, and Brandon Storr. A lot of damage off the 83. Let's go back and see it all again. It just looks like those cold tires on the 13. Oh, a little bit of a clip. I'm sorry. Was that Michael Clark? No.
Oh, no, that was Michael Rupp getting into the side of the who's this green car right here?
That's the number 10.
Jesus.
And Brandon goes around, and I think Brandon had to jump to pit road. He did. So he's going to have to deal with the tow. Everybody does have a fast repair to start the race. But wow, turn one, just like on Saturday, multiple cars getting involved in incidents, and Ken Huber is already out to an almost 2-second lead over Dalton Fredericks. Not gonna lie, Michael Rupp's car looks like it has a lot of scrapes, but overall not looking too bad in all honesty. As Jesus is drifting through sunset, kills the tire berries on the left side. Major damage on the number 13. Also has to jump to pit road. Joe, you said it best before the race started. You had to get those tires up to temperature. And I think both of those incidents where the multiple cars slid showed that it's going to take a little while to get those tires to where they need to be.
Yep. It's road racing's tricky. You can't just sit there and get behind the wheel of a car and call, I'm trying to think of words here. Sorry, it's been a long day. You can't just sit there and be a hero in turn one. When it comes to road racing, you got to let things play out.
Your biggest movers out of all of this going on the first couple laps, Wyatt Franklin, Daniel Krim, and Jamie Bray all +4 spots, with Josh Vidal +3. Your top three are unchanged. Huber first, Dalton Fredericks second, and Michael Clark in third, as those guys are starting to pull away from the rest of the field. As it looks like Jesus is back out on the racetrack. And so
guys,
is
if you have,
Brandon. Go ahead, Joe.
yeah, if you if you tow, you still got that fast repair. So I mean, his car looks brand new, so he pretty much used that fast repair.
Oh, it's Dalton is sideways. And Brandon on the outside of pit exit, giving way to the rest of the field as he's cutting through the grass. As Dalton's going to drop back to 5th place. This is also another huge race for Ken. No Scott Rambler. So that battle is starting to change, turning into a Ken Huber one-man show. And Dalton Frederick, the second race in a row, having an issue.
It's very easy to overdrive these cars. You get a false sense of security because it being a mid-engine car, and you think it's gonna stick, and then it just ever so slightly says, we're gonna kick out a little bit, and then you're gonna sit there and try to save it and see if you can drive it out. But these things will snap steer on you, and it looks like that's what we've been seeing these first few laps here. Because I just saw that Rupp got a little slideways again too.
Yep. Taking a look at today's Sebring details. April 13th, 2025. We're in the future, everybody. 7:17 at night. We're looking at a ambient temperature of 81, bringing a track temperature of 87. So it will cool off and cool off quite a bit as you see Dalton Fredericks and Josh Vidal. No, I lied. That's not Josh Vidal. That's Wyatt Franklin. Sorry. And everybody, we are going to see something we should have seen a couple weeks ago, as it is already starting to transition into, not trying to use the pun, sunset.
Yeah, the glare is starting to come out, so if you catch Ken or one of these drivers in a cockpit view over the next couple of laps, that sun glare is going to be bad.
Look at that.
There you go.
Oh.
It gets worse.
That lit up my basement. All right, Joe, knowing on how that is going to affect these drivers, what is the best way these drivers can help fight that? Because it's not like they can put their arm up and shadow the sun.
Your best bet is to kind of hold your position and pick a different spot on the track, or wait until later when the sun falls off behind those nice cypress trees that Florida has. Actually, I don't think there's cypress trees over there. There's a lot of orange groves around. But anyways,
orange.
Yeah. Don't drink the orange juice in the victory lane in Indianapolis. Wait. Wrong series.
Chocolate milk. It's definitely chocolate milk.
That's fine.
All right,
no,
here's another one.
Yeah.
That's
now imagine
amazing.
having that for about an hour. It's pretty bad.
And Ken's making it look easy, as he's done all season long.
Well, he's got the nose is out in fresh air. All he sees is open track in front of him. He's got it easy. But if you go and look at some of these guys where you have a whole gaggle of cars that are coming out of Sunset right now.
Starting with
that
Josh
makes
Vidal,
some interesting
Dalton
time.
Fredericks, Wyatt Franklin, Donald Cepek, Daniel Krim. It's literally Huber, Clark, and then the rest of the field under a blanket.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do the vehicles automatically turn on their headlights, or do these drivers have to remember to turn on their headlights?
No, they automatically turn them on. All we can do is flashy flash.
Because it will be dark relatively soon here.
Uh-huh. And it is going to get pitch black in certain spots of this track.
Look how close Krim and Bray are getting to battling. That very much could have been the sun messing with Jamie Bray, as he got really close to the back end of Daniel Krim.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this battle. This is wild. Wyatt Franklin, Josh Vidal, and Donald Cepek all under a blanket. This is 4, 5, and 6.
And Josh just keyed up a couple seconds ago saying something about pass or something.
Oh!
I didn't quite catch it.
Wyatt Franklin!
Oh, no.
Completely loses it. Oh, he's taking too much speed.
No, that would be wrong gear.
Wrong gear?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
All
That's wrong gear. Downshifted a little too much. This car should have stuck that, no problem.
As he had a really good first portion of that lap, passing 2 vehicles, then has the issue on the back half of the lap. That's a really nice looking car that Michael Clark has.
I do believe that's one that was painted by our very own Daniel Krim.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of the cars in the field. While the one car that I painted is parked in a garage somewhere going, "Scott, race me!" Which that car has McConey all over it too, by the way. So thank you for thanks Jeff McConey for supporting our little series here on Tuesday nights.
And look at the difference. Oh, it's still a little bit, but definitely not as bad.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going down behind the trees. He's going. Oh, the lights have come on the bridge. Right there at Big Bend, I just saw.
What a complete difference. And Joe, we're going to stay with Ken Huber here. Take us around with the assist of Ken around Sebring International Speedway.
Well, coming underneath the Michelin Bridge here, you're going coming down the front straight, known as the pit straight, pretty much. And you're going to come down, hang it out wide, going into turn 1, cut it down. There's a cone up on the fence that you kind of marks your apex, come out into this little section here called turn 2 for some reason, and then turn this complex here, the 345 complex, as it's called. You come down through Big Bend here, flat out going down into turn 7, which is cordially known as the hairpin. And a long time ago, that hairpin used to actually be a hairpin, but now it looks like a fat lip if you looked at the track map, because it's got this little kink right here coming out of the hairpin. Then you're coming down through the Fangio chicane, coming out to Cunningham, which would be turn 10. It's a right-hander, kind of difficult if you touch that curb there. Left-hander through Collier. This is kind of tricky, especially in the GTPs and prototypes. It was really, really slick during the race. Here's tower turn, basically the old airport terminal tower. Then you have the Flying Fortress Straight, as people like to call it, coming down through Bishop. And then I don't remember what they call 15, but it does have a name. I'm just blanking on it. I don't have a map up. And then you got Le Mans here, hanging out wide, cut it in close to the curb, flat out, all the way back down the Ullman Straight, coming into Sunset. And, you know, everybody knows why it's called Sunset. You just saw it on our in-car cameras. You come flat out in here, hard on the brakes when you start seeing those cones dragging, shifting down slowly, and just kind of float the car through the bumps on that old World War II old runway and taxiway, and back up onto the front straight, across the start-finish line. That is your lap at Sebring.
Nice. Nice, Joe. Great job. That was amazing. It's one of my favorite spots I look forward to every week. Because the people at home don't just learn something about the racetrack and how you coached them around the racetrack. It helps me out quite a bit.
You should see me at Road America.
Are we going there this year?
Oh, yeah.
Because Road America is one of my favorite road courses.
Hang on. I'll tell you what week.
As Daniel Krim and Jamie Bray are both on pit road. Joe, I don't know if they can make it the whole way. I think some of these drivers are kind of running it backwards.
Yep. I think that's what they're doing. Road America is coming up in April, actually, about a month from now.
Sweet. I know next week, for everybody watching at home, we are running Coda West. That is the same Coda track that the NASCAR series just ran recently when they were there a couple weeks ago. The shorter version, the more racy version, I feel like. So I'm excited to go from Florida, nice, beautiful Florida, to nice, beautiful Texas.
The stretch coming after the break for season 1, all right, where it's Sebring, Coda, Chicago, Daytona, Road America, Watkins Glen, that's 5 races in the month of April. 5. Okay? Leading up to, was it the Indianapolis 500? Our races will actually line up with the Road America 500, that the special event that's going on. And then, because, you have to have some sort of on-track activities with any car that we race. We'll be in Indianapolis in May, but it's going to be entertaining to watch these next few races. This was the stretch of the season that I've been waiting for.
Donald Cepek, Josh Vidal side by side entering turn number 1. Vidal with the advantage. And away Vidal goes, rebounding nicely after his spin just a couple laps ago. Look at those brake rotors, Joe. Holy cow. Good thing the tires and the rotors don't explode in the sim yet. I have to specify the yet part.
Ooh. Dalton was slideways coming out of the hairpin.
It's really felt like Dalton's number 5 Lamborghini hasn't really set into the racetrack. Like, he's fast, very fast as always, but it doesn't look like a normal Dalton Fredericks vehicle where it just feels like the car and the track are one. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like he's really having to fight for everything right now.
It's really easy to overdrive this car. It is. Just like any other GT3. I'm also going to chalk this up to Dalton has been practicing literally just GTP, all right? He has a prototype mindset right now, and that's going to hurt him in this race. You can't drive this car like a prototype. Even though it feels like one because of the mid-engine and being a little bit, a little bit more nimble. Uh-oh. There is a car in Sunset.
That was Michael Clark.
Wasn't he running second?
He was. And you know how you were just saying about overcooking it?
Oh, yeah. He is way out there. Woo.
But good for him. He didn't hit anything, and he's staying out of the way for everybody.
Good job.
He's moving again. He's back to 6th place. No, he's still stopped.
Oh, no.
And he just jumped to pit road. I think he was trying to get it refired, and it just did not want to refire.
Well, at least it's a short tow.
Does that actually take account of how far you have to go?
Oh, Brandon's around, too.
Oh, no, not again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it looked like that was a quick spin for Brandon. Oh, it's turn 1 again.
I am sure that Brandon has some choice words for that corner right now.
Probably saying his GT3 was not driving anywhere near like this on Saturday.
Well, we are running the fixed high downforce setup.
Would that give them more grip?
In theory, yes. But it could also throw the balance off depending on what track it is. Now, this is an iRacing fixed set. If I was sitting here building a setup for this car, for this track, you wouldn't... These cars would look smooth as butter going over the concrete for the runways, and this is not an ideal setup for this track. But, you know, we are running fixed. This is what happens. There's bumps that you catch that could upset the car, and that's why you're going around. Trying to keep the car inside the polished area of the track. All right, typically you don't want to be on that particular part, especially in the rain, but right now, because of the way the car is, you don't want to hit any of those bumps.
Well,
because all you're going to do is snap steer.
Joe, we got to talk about this. Fastest lap of the race, Ken Huber last time by a 2:02.03. That track temp is down a couple more degrees. Are we expecting to see the fastest lap to be run relatively soon?
Especially if he's on a light fuel load.
It's amazing.
It's getting kind of dark.
It is. And I'm just looking at lap times. Last time by, we had 4 drivers right in that 2-minute, 2-second range. And it's 1 through 4. Huber, Fredericks, Cepek, and Vidal. Oh, and also Jamie Bray in 6th. But there is a huge gap between Huber and Fredericks, looking at right around 10.5 seconds. But then you go back to Cepek and Vidal. That's about a 2-second gap. And then everybody throughout the rest of the field kind of spread apart as we have an issue with Daniel Krim. Oh! Pops the curb, loses the vehicle, doesn't hit anything. And he's pulling a Scott Rambler by driving backwards.
He hasn't taken the checkered flag yet.
No, he hasn't.
You're not allowed to go backwards yet.
Wow, we're already 22 minutes to go. Joe, we're right around that halfway point, and just look at those brake rotors. Those are brighter than the headlights.
Well, that's what you have a semi-metallic or ceramic brake pad, depending on what kind of bite that they want to put into these things.
Fredericks on
and
road.
you have a carbon fiber brake rotor. All right, they're gonna glow. That's what they're doing. The rotor is there to have something that could create friction with the brake pads, and it's also vented to dissipate the heat that is generated. And what I mean by heat, you're looking at 1,000 to 2,000 degrees on the brake temps.
Wow.
I might be exaggerating a little bit, but it's up there. They get really hot.
Brian Egg on one of those.
Yeah, I actually have a in the Porsche Carrera Cup Series, they still use steel brake rotors, and I have one of those rotors off of a car. It's about 14 inches in diameter, right? It's huge. About 1.5 inches thick, and they use it once and throw it out. Why do I have it? Because it's a Porsche part. Why not? But it also makes a really good conversation piece too. It's like, hey, you open up the shed door. Hey, what's the brake rotor for them? Oh, it's from a 911 that ran at Daytona.
That's pretty cool. When are we gonna see Ken Huber hit pit road? Right now.
Look at this. The predictor.
And it's about 20.5 seconds back to the 11 of Donald Cepek, as that 11's going through sunset and staying out. Are these drivers taking full pit stops, Joe, or are they just grabbing fuel and going to the end? We saw people try it during the 12 hour and it not work out so well. So do you think they might try it here?
I would. because you're not putting a full load of fuel in the car. Why not stay out on sticky tires, especially if you got, if you're not burning the tires off of it, you might as well stick to them. Why not?
There's Ken Huber back out on the racetrack after a 14-second pit stop. Wyatt Franklin with a 15-second pit stop.
Yep, those are fuel only.
Only 2 drivers that have yet to pit. That's Donald Cepek and Josh Vidal. Should be coming relatively soon.
I'm glad we did night here at Sebring, because at Homestead we would have had the track lights and it wouldn't have looked as cool.
Fair point.
Well, actually, it probably would have looked cool too, but it would. But if I don't know, I've been to endurance events that go overnight or go into the night, and it's just really cool seeing headlights flying by you. Like what the? Okay, that's a car.
Well, do we have any takers this time by? The longer you stay out, Joe, and here comes Donald Cepek. The longer you stay out, never mind, it doesn't matter anyway, but what I was going to say, the less fuel you have to take when you do come to pit road, but we both have Cepek and Vidal entering pit lane, and there's Ken Huber out of Sunset across the start-finish line. Just 17 minutes remaining here at Sebring International Raceway, and it has been one hell of a vacation down in Florida. Homestead a couple weeks ago, Sebring 12-hour on Saturday, and the Sebring 45-minute for the Super Tropheo Series today, and then tomorrow we return to Homestead for the 8-car Xfinity Series. Presented by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast, as there they are right on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't plan that. It just worked out that way. But everybody, we're going to take our commercial break halfway through the race, but we're going to go side by side so you don't miss a thing.
It is feature time in Tulsa. Let's go green.
He's got the run, but isn't enough. It's a drag race to the finish. Culver goes from third to first in the last quarter.
Experience the world's most legendary racing events with iRacing. iRacing special events allow any member to compete in full-length multiplayer races based on some of the biggest events in motorsports all year round. Compete in virtual endurance races such as the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, and the Nürburgring 24 Hours. Take on some of the toughest races on the NASCAR calendar, such as the Daytona 500 and the Coke 600. We have races from disciplines across the racing world, from the Indy 500 to the Chili Bowl, from the Bathurst 1000 to the Crandon Championship. Our endurance special events utilize iRacing's team feature, where members can sign up and race together on their own team, swapping drivers throughout the race. Other events use iRacing Super Sessions, where you're not only racing against those on track, but against everyone taking part. As every race progresses, watch and feel the track change, with progressive time of day, dynamic weather and rain, and dynamic track debris and surface changes. Take on your favorite discipline, or try a brand new racing challenge with our biggest races of the year, the iRacing Special Events. Learn more at iracing.com/special-events.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Makoni Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Makoni Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Makoni Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MakoniSetupShop.com and learn why Makoni Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
And there it is, green flag in the air, and we are a go.
Curb, curb, curb again.
Oh! And he's gonna make it work as they are 3/10 back.
Sir, you can't park there.
We're back, everybody. 12 and a half minutes remaining here at Sebring International Raceway. Ken Huber with a 16-second lead over Dalton Frederickson second, who, speaking of Dalton, I think he's touched every position within the top 8 with a spin earlier on in the race. Has fought all the way back to that second position. But Ken Huber just keeps putting pole lap after pole lap after pole lap. It's disgusting.
Yeah, he just set his fastest lap at 2:02.031. Last lap by.
I think we have found another alien on iRacing.
It happens.
But a battle we might be seeing sooner rather than later. It's Wyatt Franklin and Josh Vidal. Wyatt Franklin in the 6 was just about a second faster last time by. Just 3 seconds, just above 3 seconds separating both of them. And that will be a battle for 4th place if it does come ahead.
Nate commented on her opening video. I commented back.
Every highlight of my car is me wrecking. It wasn't me. I didn't make that, and the person making it took the videos themselves. So, certain somebody might have an issue with you. I don't know.
Shout out to Sean Garrett. He's on vacation this week.
That gap now is right around 3 seconds. Joe, we might have a battle for P4 really, really soon.
Good. We could use battles. We like battles. Chaos.
Now, how big of a hole does that wing punch for the car behind? Does it really allow draft for drafting?
If we were at Daytona, it'd make a difference. Here, not so much.
.5. Now, the last time Wyatt was getting close to other drivers, He got really aggressive and ended up looping it, if people remember earlier on in the race.
Oh no, Brandon's back on pit road.
Yeah, Brandon might have gone off track. Let's see if I can go back and find this. This might be it right here. Ooh. Oh.
Oh, Brandon.
And I think that's where he jumps the pit road. Yep.
Rupp is having a little bit too much fun with that headlight button.
Of course, now he doesn't want to flash. Rupp started 5th. After his incident, he's dropped back to 7th. And he's basically in the middle of nowhere. Still watching that battle for 4th place as we are under 8 minutes to go. Hey Nate, then just take it this way. You made a highlight reel. Instead of top plays, it's just not top plays.
Just sit there and say, "Hey, Ma, I'm on TV."
Ken Huber once again, a 2:01.98, getting even faster.
Yeah, the fuel load's burning off. Tires are nice and toasty, and
just doesn't seem fair. Can we start him low on power next week?
I'm working on something for the for season 2. Link.
I don't even think that's possible to start somebody low on power.
No, you don't have to start them low on power. We'll talk about it later. We'll leave it at the hint of, I've got something coming for people that like to win races a lot. Hi. I'm looking at you, Ken. I'm looking at you, Scott.
Very much evened out between Josh Vidal and Wyatt Franklin. That gap has been right around 2.5 the last couple laps. And CPEC has been doing a really good job too. That gap is under 5 seconds between the two of them. As Donald, a good second faster than Dalton Fredericks last time by. Two seconds now separating Vidal and Franklin.
Wyatt was practicing at Sebring, and he was bragging about how, I'm going to get me one, I'm going to win this one, I'm going to get it, I'm going to do well. Well, I'd say he's backing it up.
He's doing it well. With a shot at a possible 4th place finish. He qualified 9th. He's up to 5th.
He's just doing his best impression of the Hendrick Motorsports. We're just going to start in the back and work our way up. And hey, look at that, we win.
Donald CPEC passes Ken Huber for the fastest lap of the race so far. A 2:01.91, and last time by was Ken's fastest lap as well with a 2:01.97. That gap between Fredericks and CPEC now under 4.5 seconds. With under 5 minutes to go.
It's so awesome to watch these cars go around this track at night. Although I had the opportunity to change the LEDs on the roofs of these cars, and I missed it. If you look on the roof line, there's white LEDs.
Mm-hmm. I see them. Under a second, Vidal and Franklin. There's the shot as they head down towards sunset.
Yeah, blimp cam going into sunset.
It showed both of them.
Underneath the bridge. And then down the front straight.
0.6 of a second difference going into turn number 1. Really close together. Looking back at P2. Don't think that battle's going to come to a head. Still 4.5 seconds separating the both of them. And even Dalton Fredericks puts down a 2:01 last time by. This is the battle, closest battle on the racetrack for position. Vidal, Franklin, just above a half a second separating. This is usually when Franklin will start closing in the back half of the racetrack. Half a second now separating. Under half a second. Ken Huber goes back to the fastest lap. Good thing we don't give out extra points, because it would have just flip-flopped those last couple laps together.
Michael Clark just went for a spin in turn 1.
And we'll switch to that right here.
I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, this is going in the sunset.
No.
Oh! What a miss. And this should be turn 1 here. With those tires all burnt up. Does the almost exact same thing and doesn't hit anything again.
And
Wyatt Franklin just went off the track.
Yep, right there too.
Ooh! Whoa. That looked like it came out of kind of nowhere. Oh, he just cooked him. There goes that battle. Should be it this time by. Heading down towards Sunset Joe. Ken Huber, pure domination. All race long. Through a pit stop. He's plus 20 seconds on second place, Dalton Fredericks. Coming out of Sunset for the final time. Ken Huber is going to win round 4 at Sebring International Raceway. What
Nope. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I saw the flag waving. Dalton Fredericks finishing P2. Donald Cepek P3. And we got a while for Josh Vidal for P4 going through Sunset now. Pretty good race for Josh, +3. Crossing the line, taking it for 4th place. +6 for Jamie Bray, finishing in 5th. And here comes Wyatt Franklin. I was really hoping for a nice close battle between Vidal and him, and he'll come home in that 6th position. Donald Cepek, Joe, on that last lap of the race, a 2:01.84. Here comes Michael Rupp now out of Sunset. Has Michael Clark right in front of him. What a race, Joe. As always, a fantastic show for All-Star 15 TV. The Super Tropheo series has been nothing but fun to call. I hope it's been fun to watch. We are going to talk to our podium drivers momentarily if we can get a hold of them.
Well, I called them to the waiting room. We're just waiting for them to get to... I called them to the waiting room so they can wait to be called up here. How many more times can we say wait? Yes.
I don't know, but you're hurting my brain.
I have to do it at least once a night. And I'm doing a pretty good job.
All right, there is the finishing order. Huber, Fredericks, Cepek, your top 3. Vidal, Bray, Franklin, 4, 5, and 6. Michael Rupp, 7th. Daniel Krim, 8th. Pasilla, in 9th. Clark in 10th. Storr, 11th. And we don't talk about the next 3.
Yeah, that 60 car man. Oof.
They got to Sebring, unloaded the car, said I didn't want to do this, loaded the car back in, and was like, okay. Just waiting on people to join up to the waiting room. But Joe, your thoughts on the race tonight?
Good race. Pretty eventful, actually. I was kind of surprised on how many issues we saw with the drivers on track, with the setup that we had. But overall, domination again by Ken Huber, and one of these days somebody's gonna knock him off. But good job to Ken on that one. Dalton, way to go on a really good recovery drive, and Donald Cepek just keeping the nose clean and getting everybody getting the car to the finish. All
right, Joe,
but
who do you want? Do you want Ken, or Ken just disappeared, or Dalton?
Yeah, Ken's been having issues with his stuff, so let's get Ken first. Let's see if we can get him.
We'll take P1. It's the driver. It's gone.
Oh no.
Shall we just get Dalton?
Yeah. Pull him up, see what happens.
Which one?
Pull up Ken. Ken, are you there?
I am. How's it going?
Oh, right. Yay, his microphone is working.
I know, I'm on my phone. I butt dialed back in.
Oh. See, look at we get butt dialed there, AJ. But congratulations, sir.
That means you're one of my favorites if I'm butt dialing you.
Oh, see, look at I'm at least one person's favorite.
Yeah.
Joe, it's because you do the points. It's only because you do the points.
The man's sitting there going, I'm taking his money anyways. Congratulations
Yeah,
on
right.
first place again, sir.
No, thank you. That was a really good run. I'm surprised. Oh man, I feel I'm forgetting his name right now. But my normal running mate, running up front with, I don't know why he wasn't here tonight. But
Scott.
He is. You're thinking of Scott Ramler, and I do believe
I'm
he's at
thinking of
work
Scott.
today.
Yeah, because he's got multiple
Yeah.
first names. It screws me up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll blame that on my old age and how many first names he's got. But no, in reality though, Dalton and Donald were both really fast tonight, and they were just victims of mistakes, and I just didn't make them. And had they been able to stay behind me, they were just as quick as I was. If they would have been able to put some pressure on me, I might have made those mistakes. So, my hats off goes both out to Dalton and Donald for that run, because I know the results don't show it, but they were really strong tonight. Did I lose you guys?
Nope. We are here. You looked really strong when it started getting down to the brass taxes at the end of the race here, and you started throwing down some really hot laps. Tell us what your pit strategy was, because we were trying to figure out, do we take tires, not take tires? Kind of tell the audience what you ended up doing.
Because it was the cars were. I was talking to Dalton about that too. The cars were kind of iffy, sketchy. So I actually took 2 tires because the rear end, I didn't trust it, and so I wanted some new rubber on the back. And so I did take tires. I don't know if it made me any faster, but it made the rear end feel more secure. So that's kind of what I did on that. So if you just take 2 tires, it really doesn't cost you anything.
Great strategy then.
Yeah. And as far as the fast laps go, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, Donald put down a fast lap himself during those closing laps. And that was just because the track temperature was dropping rapidly the way the weather was set up. And it looks like you guys hit the nail on the head tonight. So yay. So we got our Miami this week, right?
Yeah, I tried. At least this time we had it right,
Yeah. Well, that's all right. I'm not complaining about last week or last race, because I was able to pull that one off, and I didn't think I was going to be able to. So yeah, that was maybe it worked out in my favor to have those hot conditions.
Well, congratulations again on first place, and we'll open up the mic for you to sit here and thank whoever you want to thank.
Just you, Joe, and AJ. Great job on these broadcasts. I want to thank the league. This has actually been really fun. I know we run out in Gen Pop, and that's a little unusual, and I don't know sometimes what we're going to get, but the racing has actually been really good here, and enjoying the league so far, and kind of having fun with the Lamborghini again. So I appreciate all that. So that's about all I got.
Well, good job again, sir, and we'll see you next week at Coda West.
All right, see you guys next week.
All right, Joe, thank you for the interview with Ken Huber. It is time to talk to Dalton Fredericks, P2. He's going to kill me for saying it once again. But Dalton, Dalton, how was it out there? It definitely looked interesting with that number 5 Lamborghini getting around the race course, as you did have a couple incidents early on in the race, but able to fight back to that second position.
Yeah, the Lamborghini Huracan was really fast. Odd number on the car, first time ever running it. Yeah, it was really fast. We had some contact right off the start. I was thinking the start was going to be clean, but I thought wrong. But yeah, still really fast after that little incident there. We had about 10 seconds worth of damage in the pits when I went in. But yeah, super fast. Boy, I can't remember his name. Huber, I think that's how you say his name.
Yes.
Super fast. Holy crap. He's just on another level. But fun racing with the guys. Great race. And glad we were able to come back after that little spin. The car felt all over the place. Like, it was the most unpredictable thing I've ever driven, and especially in turn 1. No 2 laps were the same with that thing, so it was still pretty fun.
Well, we go to Coda West next week. I know you enjoy your road racing, and we're cutting that racetrack just a little bit. It'll be the same race course that the NASCAR guys ran just a couple weeks ago. Are you looking forward to heading to Coda?
Yeah, I'm interested how the new layout will be. I always like a little bit of a change, but yeah, I think we'll still be fast as usual, and hopefully we can come up here and talk to you again.
All right, brother. Well, before we let you go, hit that giant laundry list full of sponsors you have.
I'd like to thank you at All Star 15 TV for broadcasting these races. I'd like to thank JTZ Home Services, Fire Trucking, JVM Graphics, Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Wrestling with Nerds podcast, Hard AF Seltzer, Drinkin Bros Auto Racing Group, McConey Setup Shop, BMS, AC Cages, Sim Coaches, anyone else that I missed, sorry. But thank you, AJ, for all you do with the team and broadcasting, obviously. Joe for being the overall leader of our team. He does a great job at what he does. Jake for all the help he does. Can't wait to race with him again this weekend with the GTP cars. And yeah, we'll see you again next week.
All right, that is second place, Dalton Fredericks. Congratulations on the podium, and we will talk to you next week at Coda or tomorrow night if you decide to race at Homestead.
Hey, there you go.
All right. See you later, Dalton. Joe, take it home, my friend.
What a great race! This was good to come back from hiatus to an action-packed race, and it was good to hear that the car wasn't necessarily glued, and it was changing. That's what the whole thing is. The whole thing is you have to have change. You can't sit there and just keep running the same lap over and over and over again. It gets boring. Right? And that's what makes this so much fun. And I'm glad that the guys are having fun, and I'm glad that we are putting on really good races, and Ken just really wants my money.
Yeah, you said that before. I was still laughing from it. But thank you everybody for tuning in tomorrow night with the A-Kart Xfinity Series presented by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. We are at Homestead Miami Speedway, 115 laps around that 1.5-mile race course. And then next Tuesday, we are at Coda West. I'm excited. I love this stretch that we have going on with both series. And they're two different types of series, so stay tuned. Glad to have you all here, and we'll see you tomorrow night or next Tuesday. Joe, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you up in the booth.
As always, same here.
See you later, everybody.
Hasta la bye-bye.